employed youth. Tonight, he profiles the people and organisations that are trying to solve the problem.
The day 21-year-old Luke Liebhardt was offered a job as a fabricator by a company in Adelaide's north was a defining moment in his life.
Getting a job has changed my life dramatically. I feel a lot better about myself. You don't live from week to week. You don't have to stay at home and get mixed in all the troubles.
But Luke didn't just walk into this job. With 1 in 6 young people in Adelaide's northern suburbs unemployed, competition for work is high. Anglicare's John Carboni played a big part in Luke's big break, helping him get his driver's licence and preparing him for job interviews. 2.5 years later, it's clear that John's hard work has paid off. Luke's saving for a house and planning a family, a future that was impossible when he was unemployed.
Seeing Luke making progress in his job is extremely satisfying. It's the ultimate high in my role. It's just the best job in the world.
Across the country, there are people like John trying their best to address Australia's disturbingly high rates of youth unemployment. They are charities, youth workers and counsellors, giving a voice to a group that are all too easily forgotten by our politicians.
Work provides that regiment to life. It provides the money for the things that everyone wants. It provides that feeling of self-worth.
Rick Henke runs a youth service for Salisbury Council, which not only connects kids with training and employment, but also gives them a creative outlet to keep them out of trouble.
The reality is we've had a change of economy in the north. We've gone from really big factories to something that now needs more education. So that change is coming, and it's about how do we make sure young people aren't left behind.
20 years ago, you might go and work in a factory and pack boxes and put labels on boxes. All of those things are now automated, and that's the thing that's leaving that group of kids behind who used to, do those sorts of jobs.
Sue French is the principal of St John's Park High School in Western Sydney, one of the most disadvantaged areas in the city.
2/3 of our students come from households that fall in the lowest income brackets. So we try to make it a school where every student can participate and every student can achieve.
So life for a lot of the people whose children come here is tough. It's a hard life. They work hard, they struggle to hang on to their jobs, and it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Despite those challenges, 86% of Sue's students finish Year 12, far higher than the average of 77% for other schools in the area. Sue's emphasis on getting kids to finish school, no matter how difficult that might prove, is backed up by research which shows that young people who finish school are 4 times less likely to be unemployed. Chandel Madden dropped out of school in Year 9 and knows how tough it is to find a job as an early school leaver.
Everyone, when they hear that you've only went to grade 11 or 10, they're not really wanting to hire you because you haven't gone to grade 12. Yeah, so I wish that I would have stayed just so I could get an easier job.
After 18 months of unemployment, Chandel decided to change her fate by enrolling in a training course run by Marist Youth Care.
It's giving the young people the opportunity to let them shine. They're great kids and they're really enthusiastic. They're sick of being disappointed and let down by adults.
The fact is we're letting these young people down, and both sides of politics must do more to support the people who are giving disadvantaged children the chance at a job. Doing nothing means a generation of kids who will never reach their true potential and know that a job is more than just a pay packet.
I feel so much better about myself. I feel proud of myself, and I feel that my family and friends are proud of me, and that's the best feeling that I could have.
Steve Price joins us now. Steve, some great examples there of how a job can change a young person's life. What can be done, do you think, to help more young people get these sorts of opportunities?
Well, I think, Charlie, that this starts at home, it starts at school and it ends in government. I mean, we're not rocket scientists here, we're not trying to reinvent anything, but I don't think any government, whether it's a coalition or a Labor government, state or federal, has thought strongly enough about this. I mean, we hear words like training, we hear programs to help the unemployed, but the figures don't lie, and over the last 2 nights what we've seen is parts of this country have a disgracefully high teenage unemployment rate, youth unemployment rate, so it's not working. Something's failing, and I think that we have to put pressure on governments to make sure that that doesn't happen. We've now got to force them to start thinking seriously about how they're going to rescue this generation we're talking about.
Are you disappointed it's not an election issue, Pricey?
Well, it can be now, and you and myself, Carrie, and the project, we've got a unique opportunity here because we know when the election date is. The election date is September the 14th, unless there's a major disaster for Labor between now and then. And so what I'd urge every parent and everybody who's involved in the political debate between now and then, whenever your local member calls you or tries to letterbox you, ask them a simple question. What are you doing about youth unemployment? If they put a flyer in your letterbox, write on it youth unemployment and send it back to them. If they come up to you in a shopping centre or a street, they want to cradle your baby, say, before you do that, mate, I've got a simple question for you. What are you going to do about getting my son or my daughter a job? And if they don't give you a decent answer, tell them you're not going to vote for them. Simple.
Good on Price here for looking out for the kids.
Yeah, good on, Pricey. Thanks for your time, hey?
Cheers.